said. Um, so, I mean, I think the first point really to make here is actually how historic the last week or so has been in terms of the huge turnout in protest across the UK and across the world in solidarity with Palestine, and that has been more than matched by an enormous wave of protest, of strikes across the whole of historic Palestine itself, which is um, a very important development. And we can see from this, I would argue, how our solidarity movement is something that feeds off the resistance by Palestinians themselves, that we take inspiration from what they do. Um, we take inspiration from the strikes and the resistance, from all the creative forms of fighting back that we've seen. And in the most horrific circumstances, while people are being pounded in the Gaza Strip, while people are facing being thrown out of their houses, but violence from the police, you've got gangs of very right-wing Zionist groups going around, settlers going around, essentially trying to organise pogroms against Palestinians in some areas of historic Palestine, areas that are Israel, and also inside the occupied territories, sometimes working hand in hand with the police, and then to see that huge wave of strike action across the whole of historic Palestine on a few days ago. I think that's something that's really driving the solidarity movement. I really wanted basically just to say a few words, really encouraging people to organise and take action. I'd like to just tell people really briefly about something that, in fact, students at Cambridge have done through the Palestine Society in the last week or so. They launched a petition which targeted, not just was an expression of solidarity, kind of standing against the attacks on Palestinians by Israeli military and the settlers and so on, but actually called out our own university for its complicity in this, and targeted connections that the university has, partnerships and links and collaborations between the university and British Aerospace Systems, which manufactures many of the components for the Israeli fighters that have been bombing Gaza, and Caterpillar, which provides equipment, specialized military equipment, militarized JCBs that are used to demolish Palestinian houses. So there is at the university, there is a sort of industrial partnership between the Institute for Manufacturing and it's called the Cambridge Service Alliance, of which BAE Systems is a founding partner and Caterpillar is one of the current industrial partners. And so the students launched a petition demanding that the university breaks these links and takes a stand in solidarity with the Palestinians. And I think that the last count, there was something like 1,600 current members of the university had signed it, including 300 alumni, over 100 staff, and the rest are students. I'll post the link in the chat because it's really an extraordinary achievement in the space of a week, and something like 33 student societies have also backed this letter. They sent me some photographs of going and handing it in this morning at the old schools in Trinity Lane with a massive envelope. And this is in a context where actually the Palestine Society at Cambridge, although it's got quite a long history, has only just got going again. It really shows what you can do and what possibilities there are for solidarity. So, I mean, I think if anyone has an opportunity to start raising the questions of boycott, divestment, and sanctions in their institution, we really need to network around this across UCU. It goes hand in hand with what Tom was talking about in terms of the IHRA definition and the dangers that poses to pro-Palestinian activism. But on the other side, we actually also need to be organising and pushing back. And there is a huge sense that the mood has really shifted. That the scale of the protests that we've seen in the last week or so shows that actually there is an open door with very large numbers of people who stand with the Palestinians and want to take concrete action.